Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Albert Einstein has said, and I quote, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything." Dear audience, as cancer is a neoplastic disease having the properties of metastasis, it destroys other normal cells and spreads throughout the body. In the same manner, the corruption is a cancer for every nation, starting from one sector to another sector and throughout the country as a whole, damaging its economic growth and social harmony. There is a general tendency among government functionaries from top to bottom to live beyond their legal sources of income. Since senior government officials themselves are involved in the corrupt practices, they are unable to keep an eye on the corruption being done among their subordinates. The result is not only a heavily corrupted but also an extremely inefficient public sector. Mr. President, why did the people of Ukraine rise up at the Euromaidan? Because they were fed up with their corrupt leaders. Why the people in the nations like Equatorial Guinea and Venezuela so poor when their countries are so rich with minerals? Mr. President, corruption. Why the countries like Nigeria and Pakistan unable to establish basic levels of security? Corruption. Why some of the poorest countries on the planet like South Sudan or Burundi unable to get food and education? Corruption. That is why, Mr. President, corruption is a cancer for every nation. Dear audience, we as being youth want to get our jobs done in a faster way. We don't want to wait and stay in the queues for our turn. We just pay some extra money and the job is done. We spend more time on figuring out how to cheat on an exam than to just study for it. In the same manner, we try to find out more loopholes in the existing law than to just obey it. The reason why corruption exists is because we let it exist. In our society, it is very easy to play the blame game, saying that if he has done it, I can do it and get away with it. There is a sense of security that all of us have, that somebody will back me up. There is an attitude, a bad attitude, that whenever somebody gets caught, he says, "You don't know me, who I am?" Mr. President, corruption is not only a developmental issue. Corruption is not only a social issue. Corruption is not only an economic issue, but it is a full-on national security.
Dear audience, we have to change ourselves first. We have to make our children aware of the basic and fundamental rights and duties of the country. Being the leaders of tomorrow, only then they will be able to make decisions of what to do and what not to do for the betterment of their country. Respected audience, Pakistan will remain a victim of corruption until and unless our top politicians and senior government officials continue to lead an ostentatious style of living and they do not stop corruption. Therefore, the adoption of rule of law is very necessary for eradicating corruption from our country. I thank you all for a very patient listening. Thank you very much.